supposedly the year of the rabbit, but I swear right now, we're actually looking at the year of the snake. What's going on, Battlebots fans? I am your never popular host of the slowest growing, most mediocre podcast in the world, Mr. Jack Finney, and across from me on the other side of the world is a man who is hankering for a pair of death roll themed Crocs, none other than Mr. Makon Crayley, the Mac. How are you doing today, buddy?
I can't believe you would ever say that. What the fuck is wrong with you? How dare you? I am a sandal man. I would never wear Crocs.
But Mac, death roll themed Crocs.
No, Jack. It doesn't matter what it's branded by. It could be Shingo Takagi branded Crocs. I would never wear Crocs. Crocs are for perverts.
Come on, dude. Death roll branded Crocs.
I know what fucking pun you're going with, but no, that is a line that you do not cross. I am not a Florida man. I would never.
Okay, I guess you'll have to go for the instead of the death roll themed Crocs, you'll have to go with the blip blops, won't you?
Oh my god, that's excellent. Oh my holy fuck. Welcome to the episode, folks. This is the bar we're setting today.
Yep, everybody, welcome to Flavor Country as we cover the round of 16. And I gotta tell you, this episode, it's an all-timer.
Yes, this was such a fucking good episode.
And the episode of Battlebots ain't bad either.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, we've been off to a good start.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm sure.
We've got a bunch of big rematches in this episode as well. There's a lot of stuff to enjoy in this episode, you know?
Yeah, like, this is... I'll say, yeah, a surprising amount of, like, rematches during this entire tournament. Like, also got some first-timers here, so... Yes, it's a good one. Starting off with... Let us start off with Ribot versus the Black Dragon.
Yes, big rematch number 1 of the night. We've got a trilogy of big rematches in this episode, as we'll come to each of them in due time. But one thing about this particular one, it kind of set the tone for the rematches of the night now that I think about it. It tended to be a night of vengeance for a lot of the machines that had previously lost their first encounters here. And one thing's for sure, it looks like the era of indestructibility with Black Dragon is truly over.
Yeah, like... Because last time these two fought, like... I wouldn't say it was a massive blowout, but, like, Black Dragon smoked Ribot while on fire, so... For Ribot to come back and beat Black Dragon here, especially after, like, the preseason they had, like, it's fucking incredible.
Yeah, and remember, Mac's one of the biggest Ribot fans out there as well. Ribot with massively powerful blows in this fight. You could tell they had learned from their previous encounter with Black Dragon not to back off and instead to be as aggressive as possible. They really took the fight to Black Dragon in this one and absolutely smothered them, just beating the absolute living daylights out of Black Dragon from start to finish. Which isn't to say that Black Dragon didn't get in its own share of offense, but Ribot was fighting on another tier by the end of it. And their persistence in this one really, really paid off, as they became only the second machine ever to KO Black Dragon, and pretty emphatically as well. Vengeance and then some for Ribot. What a glow up for them this late in the season. And, you know, massive shout out to the team from Massachusetts here.
Yeah.
Like, they absolutely deserve all of the acclaim for how strongly they've rebounded from their shaky start to the season.
Yeah, like, fucking hell. Like, honestly, I don't even know what to say. Like, they just did it. Like, they had a poor start, but they came back. They avenged our guys Ripperoni. They avenged themselves, and now they are in a really interesting position because of probably all the robots in this left in the tournament after this episode. They might be the biggest dark horses, and weirdly the biggest sealed against like one team winning, and that team is huge.
Quite possibly, because of the remaining machines, like obviously we'll come to the story of Huge later on, but of the remaining machines, Ribot is the only robot that's coming in that has a horizontal spinner configuration, which would be Huge's bane at this stage.
Exactly.
Because Huge, as we know, is specifically designed to fight vertical four-wheel drive spinners, and of the remaining robots, while Ribot does have that kind of configuration, it's also got the undercutter horizontal spinner configuration that could be just what is necessary in order to beat Huge.
Exactly, yeah, because as we'll see in the Huge fight, like that having that might be the key to taking out Huge.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff for us to cover in the Huge fight, but we'll come to that later on. In any case, Ribot, fantastic showing in this episode, and they finally make it all the way to the top 8. All the way to the quarterfinals.
Is this the first time they made it there?
I think it might be, now that I think about it.
Very interesting. We'll see how they go.
Yeah, Ribot historically has performed very well in the past, but I don't think it's ever quite gotten this far.
Funny that, like, the one season where it performed really badly before the tournament, like, is the one where it makes it, like, the furthest in the tournament it's been.
I mean, it didn't make it especially far in the season, if I'm remembering right, in the season where it was the number 2 seed.
Yeah, literally the first fight that it had, it was out.
Yeah. But yeah, back with a vengeance. This frog has got some real venom in it, this poison arrow here.
Yeah, it could be hopping all the way to the fucking bolt.
Oh yeah. Well, we shall see. In any case, up next, one of the other big shouts for the tournament, Witch Doctor, having its very first encounter with Lockjaw, 2 legendary teams who've been around since the start of the reboot, finally coming together and going one-on-one.
Yeah.
And it was over in a flash as Witch Doctor took it to Lockjaw immediately, and within like 30 seconds, Lockjaw was backed up in the corner, and Witch Doctor literally tore its ass out.
It fucking just it gave it the biggest rim job of all time. Okay, maybe second biggest even.
It was absolutely devastating seeing what happened to Lockjaw there.
Yeah. Before the fight, like, we got a little bit of information about Witch Doctor's weapon, and specifically the fact that it's essentially a double-edged sword.
Yes. Apparently, Witch Doctor has burned out its weapon in previous fights. I believe it was the previous fight, wasn't it?
I think the one before, but it could be either one. I forget.
It might have been the one against Jackpot, where it managed to total Jackpot, but ultimately came away with a burned out weapon, didn't it?
Yes.
Which really is a testament to how sturdy Jackpot is, that, you know, they managed to take down Witch Doctor's weapon, even if, you know, it was at the cost of them getting completely written off.
Yeah, because, like, essentially, Witch Doctor's weapon at the moment is sort of like Volt Tackle in Pokemon, where, like, you're inflicting damage upon yourself. It's like, because, yeah, it's just sort of acclimating, I guess, like, because the more damage you do to the opponent, like, the more damage you're actually doing to yourself here.
That's a fair point. In any case, Witch Doctor comfortably goes sailing into the top 8, as we expected them to do so. This was a great comeback season for Donald Hudson. It's sad to see Lockjaw go down in pieces like that, but if you want to go out, you want to go out in pieces.
Yeah, he was, like, nodding along to that. Like, he was going, yeah, okay, that's a sick way to go.
Yeah, it's like, part of me gets the feeling that Donald Hudson isn't competing specifically because he wants to win another giant nut or anything like that. He just loves this sport, and he wants to be around it as much as he can.
He's doing it for the business that we love.
It's like Kim Davis competing with Panic Attack in Robot Wars after the 4th series. He had no expectation that he was going to win the season anymore. He was just there competing for fun.
He is literally happy to be here.
Yeah, except Lockjaw, of course, constantly remaining a massive threat even now.
Yeah, true,
So
true.
a testament to how sturdy that design is. It's
Yeah.
sad to see it go, but it goes out with a bang.
It's the ultimate gatekeeper, and it kept that gate wide open for Witch Doctor.
Oh, yes. Speaking of beatdowns, however, and another great showing in this one as we get to see what ultimately turned out to nearly be another massive upset. Malice taking on Minotaur, and I gotta tell you, Mac, this fight did not start out in the way I was expecting it to start out.
No, it did not. Like, I kind of expected Minotaur to just destroy Malice, because Malice has had, like, sort of a rocky season in terms of, like, good fights. But Malice,
Yeah, it was pointed out to me by my friend Sarah. Like, she was expecting it to go in much the same way that Minotaur versus Fusion did, which isn't a knock against Malice or anything, just that, Minotaur is that massive a threat. But we nearly saw a massive upset right out of the way, just like in Fusion versus Minotaur.
Yeah, funny.
Except this time going all the way.
Yeah, like, Malice just fucking bumped Minotaur across the box, like, multiple times. They fucking ping-ponged him.
Oh, yeah, like, massive hits from Big Red in this one as well. It's like, they made a point beforehand of showing that Bunny has been helped out a fair bit by Ray Billings throughout this season, since Ray isn't competing with Tombstone, but he's been an honorary member of Team Malice.
Yes,
and that she's also been getting some advice from...
Hey, Paul!
Yeah! Paul Ventimiglia finally makes an appearance in the show for the first time in a few years. Even if it is through archive footage. But yeah, she's apparently been getting advice from Paul Ventimiglia, and really showed in this fight, as at least for the first part of the fight, Malice gave Minotaur one of its best fights so far, and was arguably the robot that's put Minotaur in the most danger this season. Who knows, Malice could have actually gone ahead and won this fight had it not been for the fact that Daniel Freitas is, pound for pound, the best robot combat pilot on the planet right now.
Yeah, like, after a rocky start, like, he managed to, like, fucking just beautifully dance around. He was flipped over for, like, a bit, but, like, he fucking got over perfectly.
Oh, yes, that spectacular gyro dance just in time to avoid getting hit by Big Red again, and then taking Malice to school for the rest of the fight. It was phenomenal to watch.
Yeah, like, it did seem like Minotaur's weapon had slowed down, like, for the remainder of the fight. But, like...
But at the same time, only slowing down after it broke Malice's.
Oh, yeah! They fucking just ripped a big chunk out of Malice's weapon.
Yep, Big Red lost a big chunk.
God, this fight was so sick.
Oh, it's kind of appropriate, really. Big Red gets a big chunk torn out of it by the Brazilian bull.
Oh, hey!
Ole!
Oh man,
I know that's Spanish. I know that's Spanish and not. Not Brazil, but go with it.
Oh man!
Great comeback, and a very strong win for Minotaur. Just what they needed going into the next round. Massive props to Malice for a massively improved season after a relatively shaky start. We did kind of rubbish Malice a few times throughout this season, saying we didn't really feel that it deserved some of its wins, but they've done a great job this year and really shown, because like Malice, it was never a bad machine, but after a few years, like the writing was on the wall for some teams this year that this was basically the last gasp for air. If you couldn't show definitive improvement, you were probably going to be cut next season. And Malice definitely showed that it deserves to be in the battle box. I cannot wait to see what improvements they make next year.
I could honestly see them getting like a fucking huge level like glow up here.
They really could. The Malice team has learned a lot over the last few years, and they've really come into their own this season.
Yeah, like I can't wait to see what they do for the next season if they make it in. Which I imagine they will. Yeah. Like, I have no doubt like they're gonna make it in.
Oh, for sure. Malice is definitely making it in next year. But with that in mind, how about we come to the next fight?
Ah, yes. The Endgame versus the Copperhead.
Ah, yes. Our little intro from tonight as well. Oh, man. What a beatdown this fight was. I was not expecting it to go this way. In every universe, I had Endgame winning this fight, which is
Yeah,
not, this is not me, trying to downplay Copperhead or anything. It's just Endgame is, I thought it was going to be like the once and future king.
yeah, like
Copperhead, what a goddamn massacre this fight ultimately turned out to be.
God, because you can never count out Endgame, but at the same time, like Copperhead has proven this season that they are championship contenders, and
Oh,
this
absolutely.
and this fight, beyond a shadow of doubt, like they're probably like the number 3 contender, like for the goal. They're up there probably.
Honestly, there's only a couple of machines in this that I can actually see beating it at this point. Copperhead could very well go all the way to the crown this year, and it would be very, very well earned.
It would be like because they have the weapon to do it. They have effectively like the I guess like the what's it called? Like the ladder to get there. It's possible.
They've got the drive, right? Okay, so they've got the weapon power, they've got the drive power, the driving skill. The robot is very, very hardy.
Yep.
It takes a lot to KO Copperhead, and Ripperoni managed to hit it in just the right spot to KO it.
Yeah.
But you don't get to make a mistake against Copperhead and have it not come back to haunt you. As we saw in this fight, Endgame started out the fight the stronger of the two, landing some big hits, managing to invert Copperhead. But Copperhead kept coming back and going weapon to weapon, and Copperhead has shown that in a weapon to weapon fight, Copperhead is probably going to end up winning that exchange 9 times out of 10. As we saw that eventually, when it managed to get back onto its feet and started ripping forks off of Endgame, just ripping the wedges off, breaking the weapon, ripping off panel after panel of armor, it was practically naked by the end of this fight. Its weapon slowing down to a halt, and credit to Endgame, they never stopped fighting back, and they did actually manage to push Copperhead across the arena a couple of times, but ultimately getting hit in such a way where it ended up completely inverted, no way of getting back onto its wheels. It was too late for them to be counted out because it happened like literally right as the last 10 seconds of the fight started, but it was by all rights a knockout at that point. Copperhead becoming, oh wow, since Ripperoni at least, and the first one to go, like without the lucky hit that Ripperoni got. We love Ripperoni, but like that's always going to be hanging in the air. Copperhead is the first to go truly toe to toe with Endgame and knock it out in years.
Yeah, like hang on, when was the last actual knockout of Endgame? I'm gonna look at this right now because
was it knocked out by Minotaur? Or was that a judge's decision?
That was a judge's decision.
Prior to that,
Bloodsport.
Yeah. Wow.
That was in 2020, so it's been 3 years since Endgame has been knocked out. Like, technically it's been a few weeks since it's been knocked out, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I feel you. But damn.
Yeah, cause this is probably the biggest beatdown that fucking Endgame's ever gotten.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's Endgame, absolutely magnificent machine. So for it to be torn apart like this, Copperhead is absolutely for real and a very, very real threat to win it all. Just laying waste to Endgame in this one.
Yeah, I have very high hopes for Copperhead going forward. I can't wait to see what happens next.
Oh, dude, for sure. I have very, very high hopes for Copperhead, but more on that later.
You also had very high hopes for one of the competitors of this next fight, Sawblaze versus your guy, Monsoon.
Yes. This was a great back and forth in our second big rematch of the night. There's a lot to enjoy here. There's great back and forth drama here. Lots of big, good hits. But unfortunately for Monsoon, this is where the British invasion finally gets stopped. Monsoon ultimately taken down by Sawblaze in this fight as we see Jameson go put on another masterful driving clinic, although not without Tom Brewster giving him an absolutely brilliant fight back as well. Ultimately, Monsoon, on the losing exchange of some of the exchanges, ends up losing its weapon to the Pulverizer, and with that, Sawblaze manages to turn Monsoon up and over. Monsoon has no way to get back onto its wheels, and that's the end of the Brit. But you know, they've nothing to be ashamed of. It was a fantastic fight. They've done absolutely brilliant to get all the way to this point after, you know, not having gotten to compete for several years. And this is with, you know, a Monsoon that maybe could stand to be upgraded a bit more because it may be in the same situation as Death Row where it sat in the crate for a couple of years.
Yeah, like there's no shame in how they perform like this entire season. Like they have done so well. Like I can't wait to see what they bring in like next season, because I hope they come back next season actually, because there's no way to not, right?
They've definitely established themselves as a championship caliber team, and I hope this entire team returns next year. Rory was a great addition to the team this year. Like, you can see all of the massive improvements that Monsoon has undergone as well, so I'm very, very much looking forward to seeing what they can bring next time. Hopefully we get to see them rain down the pain in earnest again. True. In any case, Jameson Go at his best is always a joy to watch. Great bout, and very happy for both teams.
Yeah,
very gets to go out with their head held high.
Yep.
And Jameson Go.
Yeah, very entertaining. So yeah, I was gonna say very entertaining post fight from Jameson. Like afterwards.
Oh yes, it was awesome, and we get to see the big rematch next time as well of Sawblaze versus Minotaur.
Ooh.
Remember, Sawblaze, one of the only robots to decisively KO Minotaur as well.
That's true.
The last time those two fought, it ended messily for Minotaur. Like, Minotaur got torn apart.
Yeah, like this is gonna be a very next week is gonna be super interesting for multiple reasons.
Oh yes, definitely. And up next, big rematch, number 3 of the night. Hydra versus Whiplash. Jake Ewart out for revenge from their last meeting, and you know what he did, Mac?
What?
He got it quite promptly.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, there isn't really much to say about this fight when we really look at it. Aside from a few missed flips, Hydra controls the fight decisively, and, you know, after it manages to assert itself over Whiplash, gets in a few good flips. Whiplash ultimately ends up inverted, can't self-right using the arm, and that's it. Yeah. Hydra comfortably goes on into the quarterfinals.
Yeah, something flew off Whiplash, like a piece of armor or something, but it looked cool.
Yeah. It was pretty cool for what it was worth anyway, and we'll get to see Hydra go up against Ribbot next. Ooh.
That's another rematch.
In that fight.
Another fucking rematch.
My money's on Hydra in that fight, to be fair. But, you know, who knows? Ribbot could surprise.
I mean, they've been proving to be the big dark horse for this tournament, so we'll see how they go against Mr. Number 3 or 4. I forget which one. Number 4.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. The frog is going to have its work cut out for it, going up against the big bad dragon that is Jake Ewart's machine Hydra.
Yeah. Up next, speaking of big bad, it's Huge versus Mad Chatter.
Yes, and you know what, Mac? I think we really got to see the fact that the Huge Poon really was too hot for TV. As it exploded all over the Battlebots in this fight after taking a huge pounding.
Phrasing.
But let me tell you. Oh, you want phrasing, huh?
Yes.
You want phrasing?
I want phrasing.
Is that it?
Yes.
Okay. I'll give you phrasing. Well, let me tell you something here, Mac. That pussy wasn't quite licked just yet, and came back hard against the biggest boy in the land. Oh, yeah. It ended up leaving Huge weak at the knees and dragging its massive weapon across the floor. But you know what, boy? That big boy has stamina for days and can give and take a pounding. Oh, yes. Bad Kitty ended up nearly taking them to the absolute limit and nearly edging it, but it was not to be, and Team Bad Kitty was officially spent.
They did not have the stamina.
There. That's all you're getting out of me from on that.
We
We
are now X-rated.
Oh yeah! Battlebots After Dark in here.
Yeah, this was a fucking excellent fight.
Oh yes, fantastic fight for sure. Mad Catter gave Huge arguably its best fight of the season, and this was the first time that we saw it brutally in danger. Mad Catter managing to land some big damage on Huge, damaging the wheel. It's been a while since we've actually seen the wheel take damage like that, and essentially Huge got left staggered. But, you know, at the same time, massive hits on Mad Catter, taking out the weapon, the lifting arm, the spinner, the huge poon, and, you know, ultimately, while it was left drunkenly staggering across the box a couple of times, it was still comfortably ahead on control and damage, and demonstrated by the end of the fight that its weapon was still fully functioning. But of course, you know, they were picking and choosing when to use it by that point as well, because they wanted to make sure that it didn't break before the fight ended, possibly costing them the fight if it did.
Exactly, yeah. And it was a good decision because they won the fight.
Absolutely. Went to a judge's decision, and you could see how happy the Mad Catter team was for Huge that Huge ended up winning. Martin Mason not contesting the decision at all, and Jonathan Schultz was so emotional.
Yeah, like they've come so far.
Absolutely. Huge's redemption story this season is one of the big feel-good BattleBot stories out there.
Yeah, you absolutely love to see it. Like, and who are they fighting next again?
Who are they fighting next?
Witch Doctor! That's right.
It's gonna be a fucking hell of a fight.
That's gotta be fucking awesome.
The real question, can Huge pull it off?
I think they can.
I think this is a winnable fight. I think this is a winnable fight for Huge, but it's definitely an uphill battle for them.
Yeah.
We shall see.
Like, that's gonna be that's absolutely gonna be the opening fight of the night. Like, there's no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, oh wow, we've got so many great fights lined up for next week. And speaking of which, we will come now to the main event of the evening. Riptide versus Hypershock, the most destructive bot of last year versus the arguable frontrunner for most destructive bot this year, the only other real competition coming from Copperhead. And I was really hoping that Hypershock would win this fight.
Instead, they swerved right into the weapon.
Unfortunately, yes. A critical driving error right at the start of the fight ended up costing Will Bales dearly, as Hypershock inverted, and with its weapon spinning in the opposite direction than what it normally would, when they finally went weapon to weapon, we got one of the biggest blows that we have ever seen in any episode of BattleBots ever, as Hypershock went careening all the way into the ceiling, smashing a light with its full body, and coming down and just getting the snot thoroughly beaten out of it by Riptide for another 20 seconds before finally dying in the corner.
Yep.
In absolute shredded mess of its former self. Wheels broken off, chains hanging out. It was... The robot had practically been disemboweled like it had been against Bite Force years ago.
The chain was, like, wrapped around its fucking tire. Like, that was insane.
Yeah, it was crazy. And we are not fond of the Riptide team, but credit where it's due. This was an absolute massacre.
Yeah, we recognize when they do a good job, and like their personality is it. But hey, look, the robot did nothing wrong.
Yeah, Riptide, the machine itself, absolutely fantastic piece of engineering, and shout out to the team here. You did a great job.
Yeah.
So, yes, credit where it's due. Real recognizes real. I'm still really hoping to see them lose to Copperhead next.
Oh, yeah, like, Copperhead, honestly, probably had the best shot of actually beating him.
Most likely, yeah. It's going to be the Egg Beater up against the Full Drum. And I think if any robot is hardy enough to take on Riptide, it's probably going to be Copperhead. And remember, these are the two frontrunners for most destructive this year as well.
Okay, historically, like, what type of weapon actually has done better? Like, Egg Beaters or drums?
Well, you see a lot more drums throughout the years than you do Egg Beaters. Egg Beaters in the heavyweight division are actually a relatively new concept. We really saw it first properly demonstrated by Hobgoblin over in the Robot Wars reboot.
Hobgoblin?
Hobgoblin didn't perform especially well, but going out quite early, but its weapon was absolutely fierce. It caused major damage to Sir Kill-A-Lot and broke Shunt's axe. And we've seen the massive, massive damage that Riptide is capable of at heavyweight.
Yeah.
At the same time, we've also seen the massive, massive damage that Copperhead is capable of. So it really depends. I honestly can't pick who will win in the weapon-to-weapon exchange here. I'd say there's definitely a 50-50 chance of winning in this one for either of them. But
yeah, like
it's gonna be a hell of an exchange when we finally see them meet.
Oh yeah, like that's gonna be fucking awesome to watch.
Honestly, if Copperhead can beat them, though, I would very much support Copperhead going all the way to the nut.
Oh, I support him going all the way regardless.
And either way, whoever wins this fight is going to have to fight either Witch Doctor or Huge.
That's true, that's true.
So, two potentially monumental fights as well. And we could see a massive rematch here with Riptide versus Huge. And there is some drama there because of when they fought originally the other year. Riptide apparently fired off before the actual buzzer had called and got an early hit in on Huge, which was edited out of the episode, but apparently that is there. And of course, Huge lost that fight in large part because the dimensions of the arena meant that it couldn't get its wheel out, and that's been removed from the arena.
Okay, so yeah, like there's a good chance that we could see a big turnaround in that fight.
Absolutely.
But yeah.
One thing's for sure. Next episode is going to be absolutely insane as we finally wrap up the tournament and get to see who takes home the giant nut.
Ah, yes. Let us have a... I mean, we already mentioned it, but let's have a look at these quarterfinals once again. Minotaur versus... Fucking... Where is it?
Sawblade.
Sawblade. There. Yeah, Minotaur versus Sawblade. It's had to... Yeah, had to sort of finagle. Yep.
That is such an amazing fight on paper, and I can't wait to see how that one works out.
Yeah, I could see Minotaur getting the payback against Sawblade, but at the same time, Jameson Go, you can never count him out. He has the skill to beat him.
Absolutely. I mean, he's demonstrated it before that he can.
Yeah. Riptide versus the Copperhead.
Oh, we've already discussed that, but yeah. Here's looking at you, Copperhead. Let's see if you can pull it off.
Yep. Hydra versus the Ribbot.
Another great rematch here, but my money's on Hydra if I have to pick.
Yeah, I'll go Ribbot because I think they can get the upset on Hydra here.
It is a toss-up, though, between the two of them.
Yeah, it depends on where, Ribbot can hit, and, if they manage to avoid, driving itself onto fucking Hydra's weapon.
Yeah, but we shall see, because that's a very tall order to avoid.
And then, finally, the Witch Doctor versus the Huge Man.
Oh, yes. I am really, really hoping that Huge wins that fight, but I know it's going to be an uphill fight for them.
It is. I could see that being far tonight. Very possibly.
Then again, who knows? We could end up seeing Witch Doctor versus Minotaur all over again.
That's true! That's actually true.
Remember, it's 1-1 at this point. We could very well see the rubber match for the actual giant nut. That would be insane if that somehow happens.
It would be nuts, actually. We could also see...
Speaking of, for the giant nut, we could also see the big rematch of Hydra versus Huge.
That's true. That's oh my... Oh no, actually, wait, no. Hold on. No.
We very well...
Wait, what's that noise? What's that noise I hear? Oh god, it's Kiryu. He has a bike. He's throwing it right at me.
But you know what? Potentially, we could see Riptide versus Sawblaze again.
That's true. That's true.
If I'm remembering right, Sawblaze was who beat Riptide last year, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Knocking them out in the tournament stage.
Yes, let me just fact check that quickly. I'm pretty sure you're correct, though. See, so yes, it was.
It is absolutely insane what a top 8 we have this year.
It is. We could have Minotaur versus Riptide, and like that would be the ultimate babyface versus like heel fight.
It really would.
We could also have like the mirror mats, Minotaur versus Copperhead.
Oh wow, that would be crazy. Just drum to drum, weapon to weapon, awesome driver to awesome driver. That would be insane.
Yeah. And then there's
we could even see the big the reformed heel versus the new heel on the block, Hydra versus Riptide.
True. I mean, we got a little bit of a tease of that, like in the Road to the Giant Nut.
Oh yeah, we've still got that to cover as well, haven't we?
Yeah, we do. And then that's discounting like the possibility of Ribbot like just fucking busting in and like just busting a nut all over the place.
This is true. They've been a massive bracket buster this year.
Literally any of these combinations like are fucking main event worthy. Like they are fucking finals worthy. This is like one of the greatest like fucking final fucking 8 of all time.
Honestly, I'd say this probably is the greatest final 8 of all time. Just, by default, every fight this year, damn near every fight has been must-see. This has been an all-timer of a season. This was an all-timer of an episode, and I think next episode could very well be the greatest one ever.
This is the WrestleMania like 18 of fucking tournaments. 17. No, this is WrestleMania 17 of fucking of Battlebots of robot fighting.
I was about to say.
Look, fucking one of these is gonna be Hogan. One of these is gonna be Hogan versus Rock. It's gonna be Ribbot versus fucking versus Minotaur. That's gonna be fucking Hogan versus Rock.
This could be the SummerSlam 2002.
Oh hell yeah! Oh, who's gonna be fucking Brock Lesnar?
Probably Riptide, to be
Fuck
honest.
no, don't do that. No, Huge.
Well, you see what I mean.
I think Huge can fucking suplex. Huge can F5 a Sark.
Young, massively destructive.
Yeah,
the
true.
up and coming next big thing.
True.
I don't like the Riptide team, but I'll give them credit where it's due. They've got a phenomenal robot.
They have a manager who's kind of
yeah.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Everything's coming together in this
Fuck.
one.
But then the question is who's gonna be that big Sorry.
To be fair, if any machine is going to F5 a shark, it should be a robot called Riptide. It's obvious there, isn't it, Mac? It's obvious who would be the big show. It's Huge.
True. Oh yeah, true. True, very true. But it could also be Mammoth because you'd have to have the Big Show be like the worst version of the Big Show, so it would have to be Mammoth.
Well, it couldn't. Mammoth's out.
Yeah, I mean that's true, but like the Big Show back to developmental.
You've got to work with what we've got.
I mean, look, maybe we'll get another fucking massive robot like next season.
Well, look at it now. This time it's Huge as the ECW Extreme Giant Big Show.
But then Riptide would be already in like whatever Japanese federation there would be. Because
it doesn't leave its feet and it just keeps fucking destroying you until you're dead, and that's been the story of Huge this year.
True. Fucking Huge is gonna go to fucking Japan and like just fucking sit all over everyone.
Honestly, dude, if Huge goes all the way to the title this year, that is one of my of the machines I want to win this, I want it to be Minotaur or I want it to be Huge.
Like Minotaur, Huge, or Copperhead.
Yeah, Copperhead number 3. But if I had to pick between two, it's got to be Minotaur or Huge for me.
Yeah.
I would love to see Huge complete its redemption story and win the giant nut.
Yeah. I mean, frankly, I'm fine with anyone except Riptide. Like, just straight up.
Yeah. And even then, if they do pull it off, we would grudgingly give them props for it.
If they win legitimately, like without bullshit, like I would be fine with it. Like I would give them the props, but like, God, if they, I swear to God, if they win and then just fucking start swearing, I am gonna fucking just throw a can at their heads. I will Hunico the shit out of them. I will Hunico the shit out of them.
But with that, we come to the road to the giant nut.
Ah, yes, we nuttin' boy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so starting off with the bot topsy.
Yeah, a double whammy of a botopsy after all as well.
Yes, we have Endgame first up. A lot of damage there.
Yes. Yep, as we got a great look at the internals of Endgame. Gotta admit, man, that's a beautiful looking machine under the hood.
Yeah, extremely clean, like extremely like neat. Neat is the word.
And and credit where it's due, you know, like aside from the weapon stopping, which they admitted was due to the rollers getting, you know, like ground down and everything, Endgame seemed to still be in perfect working order.
Yeah, like pretty much there was no like real damage to like the body. Like it's kind of insane.
It was stripped down from all of its armor. It had massive panels torn off, and there was big damage to the chassis and everything. But it was like apparently internally everything was still fine aside from the weapon.
Yeah. Fucking awesome. And then we had Hypershock.
It's a real testament to just how sturdily constructed Endgame is. And Hypershock, as we know, is a very robust beast as well. But Hypershock came out of there. We got a really good look at the corpse, and oh boy, it wasn't pretty.
Yeah. Oh man. It was not good.
Yeah, it was like looking at something on a butcher's table there.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was brutal.
Yep.
But you know, if you're gonna go out, that's kind of how you want to go out. Although they did, Will Bales did have a nice little callback to his, you know, like you spend all your sponsors' money, and then you spend all your money, and then you spend all your friends' money.
Yeah. Give him more sponsors, please. Give everyone more sponsors.
I'm gonna need a bigger bank account.
Yeah.
his immortal line. It's awesome.
Oh god. But yeah, then we had.
Honestly, on a serious note, I love the Road to the Giant Nut so much. The more Battlebots, the better. I love getting a good look at the technical side of these things and just properly breaking it down with the builders and everything.
Yeah, please make this just a permanent fucking edition. Like, this is fucking
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah, like, I'd take this after, like, practically any episode as well. Just more behind-the-scenes stuff, really. And it was also really cool how they highlighted, you know, like, the beginnings of the BattleBots reboot all the way back to the ABC seasons back in 2015, or was it 2016? And we saw how far the standard of engineering had come in the span of, like, 5 years.
That's true! That's very true!
Because like, you look back at some of those machines, they're very good machines still, but, you know, like, compared to now, it's so crude.
Yeah, like, because honestly, a lot of them look fucking goofy, but, like, at the same time, like, the people making them are, like, very clever, like, very clever, very creative, very talented.
We even got to see Radioactive, which was built by the Behemoth team from Robot Wars. And Radioactive, not necessarily a particularly good robot. But
it looked goofy.
You know, although, yeah, you'll remember it. It was the one that was shaped like the nuclear symbol, with the made of plastic with an axe and everything. But yeah, I'm not here to dump on the Behemoth team. I love those guys. So
then we had
just seeing the difference in engineering standards just in the span of a few short years, just by the nature of this sport. Yeah. I love it so much, man.
Yeah, and who knows where it's gonna go? Because like, obviously, at the moment, we have a very clear-cut, like, meta, but who knows when something's gonna come around to, like, just break it entirely.
I think it already has.
Oh.
It's huge.
That's true. That's true.
I feel like next season, we're going to see a lot more designs specifically out there to fight huge.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. Like, cause what? Other than like just big fucking weapons, everyone just gets a big sword to fight huge.
But we've seen how big swords work out in this season, dude.
Well, I mean, look, it's because they fucking didn't do it right. Just do big swords right. Turn Battlebots into a fucking big sword fight battle. This is how we get from where we are now to like just fucking full mech suits. Like we get to Gundams. This is how we're gonna get to Gundams.
I get the feeling that Rob Knight just perked up somewhere and he doesn't know why.
I want Gundams. Imagine if someone just makes a Gundam and like puts it in there. Like a small Gundam.
See, this is why Japan really needs to, like get into the robot fighting scene.
True. Japan would be fucking awesome at it.
But with that, we come to the next portion of the Road to the Giant Nut, and this time it was a highlight of both Hydra and Riptide, the heel, the reformed heel, and the big new heel.
Yeah, big words here.
Oh yes, we got a good look at the weapons on each. The contrast of Riptide's 55-pound egg beater versus Hydra's 5-pound tongue for the flipper.
It's insane. Like,
yes.
such a fucking small thing can like be so devastating.
Absolutely. Oh man, this is just a really, really cool segment as well. It's great seeing Jake on screen like this. And Ethan is, he's alright here.
Yeah,
I found him
when he's on his own and like not like, doing like a fucking pre-tape, like he's fine. He actually is fine. Cause like I've like I keep saying it, but like just get him away from his group and like just he'll probably be a better person.
Possibly. In any case, we will have to see next week when we finally get to see the end of the tournament.
Yeah.
And it is going to be absolutely must-see television.
It is, like, fucking, I need it now. I need it right now, Jack.
Yep, just hook it to my veins.
Yeah. Jack, please, fucking espionage, go do it.
Oh, if only I could, Mac. If only I could.
Like, no, make a time machine. Do it.
It's okay, Mac.
You can.
But just remember, when that week is over, we're out of Battlebots for a while.
Yes, true. Like but then we'll have like the golden bolt.
All good things must come to an end eventually. So,
Yeah.
But what a ride to get here.
Oh,
I cannot wait to see how it ends.
Yeah, like it's gotta be fucking awesome.
With that, we'll come to our awards segment for the evening. Matt, how are we feeling about this one? It's pretty clear cut on a lot of these, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Let me just open up the deal.
Well, we might as well start off with the best driver. It's the most clear cut one. It's pretty handily. Gotta be Minotaur.
Yep, they Minotaured.
Yep, just Daniel Freitas demonstrating why he's the world's premier robot combat pilot. Coming back from a rough start to the fight with an absolutely brilliant maneuver and just showcasing pure driving dominance for the rest of the fight. It's absolutely one of the things that you have to see.
What was that?
Oh, I just bumped something with my
phone.
Okay.
That sound like you fucking just threw your entire TV across the room. You're not Minotaur, Jack. You can't destroy things. The best loser is actually no, we'll save that for last. Because may as well.
We can do.
But you're making me do more
mention as well.
Yeah, but you're making me do more work. like a fucking extra minute of work. I know fucking Mad Catter wins best loser.
Yeah, Mad Catter with best loser with an honorable mention going to Malice here for being truly managing to put Minotaur in danger.
Yeah. Like, it was...
Great job from both teams here.
Yeah, amazing fucking efforts from both teams. Like, fucking...
Yeah, and Mad Catter becoming the first robot this season to truly put Huge in danger as well. Like, it honestly felt like a razor-close fight between the two of them, so...
It was. It absolutely was.
So major shout-out to the Mad Catter team. We love you. We can't wait to see what you do next season. Spike Dudley performance of the night, the underdog performance, Copperhead for its systematic dismantling of Endgame.
Yeah, like, they destroyed a fucking former champion in, like, I should really stop swearing. It destroyed a former champion in just absolutely brutal fashion.
Oh, yes. It was absolutely sensational to watch. Just the sort of thing that you want to see in this sport.
Yeah, like, it was fantastic, and they are proving themselves to be a top contender here.
Definitely. They could very well go all the way to the nut, and they've jumped all the way up to our number 3 pick for who will win it all.
Indeed. Knockout of the night, Fighter denied. Here we
Credit
go.
where it's due.
Yeah, knockout
Knockout of the night. It's the Riptide.
Yep, like it was amazing. Like they punted fucking Hyperstock all the way to the moon, and then they won.
Yep. Sent him to the moon, ripped its guts out, tore its limbs off, and yeah, credit where it's due. Riptide, well done.
Yep, well done, dude.
Fight of the night.
Fight of the night. It is, of course, Mad Catter. This is huge.
The knockdown, drag-out brawl as we saw Huge finally given a bloody nose for the first time this season, and a fantastic fight back from Mad Catter. Great drama in this fight. It was one of those fights that has everything you want to see in robot combat.
Exactly. It was super fun. Like it was wacky. It was perfect.
Yes, absolutely fantastic episode. I'd say this is a 10 out of 10 episode.
Oh yeah, like there were no bad fights. But there was one lesser fight, but not by that much.
Yeah, and you know it was still a good fight in its own way.
Yeah,
so,
like
yeah.
that other fight had like some good feeling out, and then it was just a slog. Not a slog. It was like a beat down from there.
Yeah, and it's like, to be fair, it's only disappointing when you compare it to the rest of the
Oh
episode.
yeah, true. Like because every fight has been like just fucking. It was brutal.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
With that, that's our awards for the week. Do we have anything for our off-topic segment, Matt?
Well, Jack, I have been playing Zelda.
Yes, that's actually what I was thinking earlier. Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom.
No. Oh, Jack, no. Not Tears of the Kingdom. I've been playing Breath of the Wild because I didn't actually finish it. Yeah, like, and weirdly, I've been fucking. I spent the entire fucking week fucking around in Breath of the Wild. Like, I was gonna go into it and just like finish it, but I've been having a lot of fun in Breath of the Wild still.
Well, you do have an excuse to. After all, Tears of the Kingdom has just come out, and that's the big story in gaming right now. I have been hearing insane things about that game. My bestie is telling me. My bestie is telling me that I really need to play Breath of the Wild, and I will. But it, like the money, the price of the game, it has never dropped, and it's like I don't want to pay full price for it because it's so expensive.
Jack, Nintendo will never fucking drop the prices of games. You just have to go for it, or like just get me to buy it for you, either or.
Well, I mean, if you're off, right?
I mean, look, when I have stuff I need to pay off for like the next 2 weeks, but like I'll get it for you. Honestly, I will honestly get it for you if you play do a playthrough and like with updates, like I will get it for you.
Oh, thanks, dude.
Yeah, no problem.
Hear that, everybody? We had a friendship moment here on the podcast right here.
I am I am like extremely. I'm way too generous with my friends, honestly.
Honestly, though, you know how it is. We like to give gifts and everything.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no worries.
Thank you, dude.
No worries. Yeah, but yeah, like
I mean, there is a reason we record this podcast together, after all.
Yeah. Yeah, we would not do this if we fucking hated each other.
Yeah. I was thinking I was gonna have to wait until the Royal Rumble pick 'em and hope that I somehow won that this year.
I mean, look, you never know. You never know when you might win it. But yeah.
Look at it this way, dude. I've got an insane Christmas present planned for you this year, but you shall see.
Oh yeah. But yeah, like Breath of the Wild, I fucking love this game. I don't know why I didn't finish it like in 2017 because the last time I played it was like it was when I went down for my niece's wedding, like in 2017. And then, like, because that was, like, right when the first DLC came out, and, like... Yeah, like, I don't know why I didn't... Like, a lot of other stuff came out, like, right after that, and I just did not get back to it. It was weird. And I don't know why, because this game is excellent. I fucking love it. It's so fun.
Honestly, I've never played a Zelda game all the way through. I've
really?
Only, had brief moments of playing Zelda over the years. Not because I didn't want to, but just due to circumstances.
Like, which ones have you played?
I've played a little bit of Ocarina of Time, and that's it.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, fair enough. Like, honestly,
not much.
Honestly, dude, I highly recommend you play Minas Cap. Like that's the Game Boy Advance one. It's the first one I played, and it's probably my favorite Zelda. One of my favorite Zelda games. Like it's like top, like at the moment top 2. Like
Wow.
it's number 2 behind Breath of the Wild. Like I haven't played Tears of the Kingdom yet. I'm probably gonna beat I'll try to fucking beat Breath of the Wild like over the weekend, like so I can finally start Tears of the Kingdom. But yeah, like I highly recommend playing Minish Cap. It's super fun.
Well, all good things in time then, my dude.
Yeah.
After all, I do have the modded 3DS, so I can
Oh!
hopefully turn that back into a Zelda
Yeah,
machine.
true.
at
Yeah,
some point.
legally modded, totally legitimate 3DS.
Yes, yes, legally. Yes, I'm going to play all of the Zelda games on it. Totally legally.
Totally, he is gonna buy all of them on the fucking Easter. Oh wait. I mean, like, bro, Miller's Cap wasn't even on the fucking ESOP anyway. Wait, actually, was it?
Okay, you will hurt nothing here.
Yeah,
We should wrap it up.
Yeah, oh shit, here comes Mickey Mouse. So, okay, anyway, that's it. Yeah, I will finish Breath of the Wild, and then next week after we finish the tournament, I will talk about Tears of the Kingdom. I promise you.
Yes, join us next week, everybody, for our coverage of the swan song of this season as we get to see one of the most stacked top 8 that we have ever seen in Robot Combat. But until next time, he's Mac, I'm Jack. Welcome to the Endgame.
No, Endgame's just got eliminated.
Now listen here, you little shit.
Don't you fucking outro song us. So long, everyone. No. Bye.